It's growing into one of modern parenting's most confronting challenges, screen addiction. It generates behavioural and developmental problems, and it's at its most extreme can drive a big wedge into a family unit. Parenting expert Claire Orange is with me. Hi, Claire.
Hi, Tracy.
You say every single week you get 2 to 3 referrals, and it's growing.
Yeah, it is. It's incredibly concerning that it's becoming one of the biggest issues of our time. And, you know, I suppose you and I might be thinking about this being teenagers and, you know, those sort of tweens, but it's not actually. It's very young people. It's young children and their families really struggling with screen addiction.
Why does it happen so easily?
Well, you know what? It's very clever technology. It plays beautifully into the human brain. It's very rewarding for a child to be on screen. And you know, human brains get this little reward and pleasure chemical called dopamine. And when the brain is engaged, it gets a lot of it. And of course, our children on screens are getting these dopamine hits all the time. And it's quite addictive. It's actually the chemical that sits with a range of addictions, Tracy, as well as screen addiction. So this is easily accessible to our young people and quite difficult to take away because it's on every school desk, in every home and in the hand of every parent.
Indeed. Well, yeah, I mean, what should young families think about as, you know, we all use technology ourselves, but introducing it to their young ones?
Yeah, and I'd say, you know, what I'd really think we need to remember with our younger children is that while there's a lot of beauty and learning in the online space, actually it comes at a cost. For every minute and every hour that a young person is online, they're missing out on something like problem solving and resilience building and relationship building. And, you know, I think our statistic now in Australia is that by the age of 8, the average Australian child has spent 1 full year of their life on screen.
Wow.
That's a lot. So as we mean to continue, that's how we should start. Minimise time during the day, use it at the right time and use it together as a learning tool rather than as a digital pacifier.
What do you do if you're already struggling to pry that device from your child's hands, and when is a good time to seek help?
Right. As early as possible, Tracy. It's an addiction. So we've got to think about that. Like with any addiction, you have to do removal of that device over time, and getting advice on how to do that is very protective for a child's brain. For anyone coming off an addiction cold turkey is very rarely the way to go. And we're talking about a diagnosis that's in the DSM, you know, in the Diagnostic Bible for mental health around the world. So it exists, it's a problem. If you're worried about your child, please seek help. Go to your GP, get a mental health plan.
Just quickly, you said don't use it as a pacifier, but what about using it as a reward or taking away as punishment?
Well, I mean, that happens in homes all the time, and it's a powerful reward, and it's actually a powerful consequence for a child. And if it's part of your parenting plan, like you've thought about it, how much time have they got, how long are you going to leave it with them, and how do you take it away, then you're all good. But if you're just doing it ad hoc, you're in trouble. So you've got to be really strategic with parenting, as you are with everything else, especially with screens.
It's so difficult, isn't it? Because we're all in some way addicted to our screens, unfortunately.
Absolutely.
All of us were guilty of it. All right, Claire, we'll leave it there. Thanks so much for your time.
Thanks, Tracy.